Right, let's go. Episode number 9.
That's what I put. I guessed it was podcast 9, but it is, yeah.
Yeah, I checked this time round after
Brilliant.
almost fucking up last week. Yep. So I won't ask you how you're doing because you've just kind of spilled your life to me. I think.
Yeah, I'm fine. I'm good.
No. So I've got a fly coming at me.
I just had one. That makes me feel like we're next to each other.
You'd love me to be next to you. Right, quickly, let's just jump straight into this because we've got a few little bits we want to talk about here.
Go.
So I've seen a couple of posts only today. A couple of new games coming out. So the two that I kind of picked up on was Jurassic World Evolution 2, and the second one was a new Saints Row. Now I don't know the actual official title for the new Saints Row game. I don't know if you've spotted that or you've seen that anywhere.
I think it's actually just going to be Saints Row.
Right. Okay.
I think it's they're classing it as like It's not a remaster, but it's like a remaster of the franchise.
Right. Okay.
Yeah.
Right. Okay. Well, while we're talking about then, we'll just go straight into that. So, from what I've seen, obviously it looks like they're still pumping out games into old gen and next gen. So that's going to come out on both Xbox One and the new next gen Xbox consoles, and that's due out on the 25th of February.
Yeah, that's also PlayStation as well, by the way.
Yeah. I'm not. I didn't see it on the. It was just on a Xbox post I'd seen at the time, so it's not that I'm disregarding.
No, fair enough. Some of this stuff was announced at like Xbox Gamescom or whatever it was.
Yeah, I think that's kind of where I'd seen the news. So,
but it is on PlayStation as well.
Yeah. I did pinch a insert from Xbox Wire, which I can quickly go down. If I'll read that out to you. So this is word for word from Xbox Wire. This has got nothing to do with us. Can't take credit from this one again.
Oh, it is on PC as well, actually. Just check that. Yeah.
Oh, cool.
PS4, PS5, Xbox One, Xbox Series X and S, and PC, and it's out on 25th of February.
Right. Yep. Right, so like the insert starts, Saints Row is back and better than ever. We've completely rebooted the game with a brand new setting, new characters, new tone, bringing the Saints franchise up to date for today's gamer. The game is set in, forgive me if I get this wrong, Santo Leso?
Probably.
Some weird name. A vibrant fictional city set in the American Southwest with 9 unique districts and 2 deserts. Currently controlled by 3 enemy factions, Los Panteros, the Idols, and Marshall Defense Industries. You start out as a future boss, a charismatic murder machine, and you get to decide who you want to be with extensive customization options. You literally get to be self-made. You team up with your 3 best friends. Now these are, again, weird little names. So Nina, Ellie, and Kevin. I say weird names, it was more Nina. I don't think I've ever seen it spelled like that before, but... And begin your mission to rise to the top.
Kevin's not a weird name.
Right, yeah. And rise to the top and build your criminal empire. However, as this is Saints Row, it's not an easy ride. You must defeat the 3 enemy factions and take Santo Leso as your own. Experience epic gunfights and high-speed chases as you explore the biggest and best Saints Row playground ever, laced with the signature humour the series has known so far. Other little pointers I've seen there, so you've got all your vehicles or your cars, your motorbikes, your helicopters. They brought the wingsuit back into there. Obviously, it's all co-op, so you can play with your friend again. Yeah. Now, what I want is the original Saints Row. I don't know if you ever played it. Do you remember? Did you ever play the original Saints Row?
I think so.
Where you started off in the little lobby and you could go around and you could just shoot each other while you're waiting. And when you played the game, you had the pimp. Was it Pimp Hunt or something? So one of you was the pimp, and then you had the other guys coming in, and there's the pimp. You slapped them.
Oh, I think so.
And you had to get from the start to the end. That was brilliant. That was so funny, that game mode. I think there was a few wasn't there? Wasn't a few pimps, and then I think there was. But that was pretty
I
funny.
can't remember.
That looked pretty cool. Yeah, but that's what I want. Now I played the last Saints Row.
Mm-hmm.
The name's gone from my mind, and it just doesn't feel like it's gone anywhere for a long time. To me, I don't know. Hopefully, this is as I said, they've totally revamped it all and gone back to its roots and hopefully changed the game for the better.
Yeah, I mean the trailer looks updated,
Yeah,
which is fair enough. Uh, yeah, it's one of those, isn't it? Like they brought a few of them out, and then the remastered version. I think that was just check. Saint Rose the Third was remastered by
yeah,
Deep Silver, and was looked good,
yeah.
but the mechanics of the game were like horrendous. Um, well, old, not horrendous, but old. So as long as if they've updated everything and everything like that, I don't think the Saints Row franchise was a bad franchise or anything. I think it was quite.
No, I mean
It's
it
fine.
was your GTA. So for those who've probably not played it, it's probably going to be the younger generation. I would have thought, because it seems to be
It's
more.
slapstick though, isn't it? It's like a
Yeah,
comedy
it's GTA.
GTA,
Yeah,
comedy GTA. Yeah,
comedy GTA with just basically as much craziness as they could possibly have put in.
the crazy storyline, big weapons, all this kind of jazz, stuff like that.
Yeah,
I think it'd be one to watch. I think the more content that comes out on it, I think if we keep an eye on it and stuff like that, it'd be interesting to see where they've took it. But I hope for them that they've done it justice rather than because if they haven't, they're not going to get a chance to fix it.
yeah.
That'll just be the franchise dead. So
So we'll keep an eye out for any demos or betas and stuff like
yeah,
that, and then hopefully we can get into that and see see how that goes. Hopefully we can review that and we're not under any strict NDAs.
yeah, that'd be good. That'd be good.
Alright. Is there anything else you want to add on Saints Row before we move on to Jurassic Park?
No.
Yep.
Go for it.
So the next game I've seen that's due out is Jurassic World Evolution. Again, this is across all generations. Um,
Yeah.
of, and this is due out on the 9th of November this year.
Yep.
They've brought back our good old friend Jeff Goldblum from the very first Jurassic Park. If you've ever seen that, in fact, that was on the other night actually. That.
Yep.
So he's playing as Dr. Ian Malcolm, and it's also you have Bryce Dallas who plays Claire Deering from the Jurassic World movie franchise.
Yep.
So they're going to be kind of commentating, guiding you through the game. From what I found out, there's 4 game modes. 2 fan
Yep.
favourites, which is Challenge Mode and Sandbox Mode. So if you have played the previous game, you'll know what those are. I think what we should do actually is give a quick overview of what the game's about. I don't know if you've played.
Yeah. No, I've played it. I've played
If
it.
you played,
It's basic. It's basically a Jurassic Park simulator game.
yes, top down. If you've ever played like your theme park type games,
It's theme park, but it's designed as a non-arcadey. It's a simulation game of Jurassic Park.
yeah, just in case you ever fancy going out there and growing your own dinosaurs, and you can simulate it
Yeah,
first.
it's like try it on this first.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
So yeah,
Um,
go on. Sorry, let you
no,
go.
no, I'll let you finish and then I'll add some points to it.
Oh yeah, so you got challenge mode and sandbox mode. Challenge mode, obviously, you just create your own park, and as it says on the tin, there's lots of little challenges, little targets you've got to meet.
Yeah,
Adjusting
go
difficulty
mental. Yeah.
levels. Yep. Unlock unique, more dinosaur skins and things like that you can put onto the dinosaurs that you're holding in your pens.
Yeah.
You've got sandbox mode, which again on the tin, you're basically just given a big area. You can do what you want. Nothing, no limitations, no nothing. Just kind of crack on, get on with it.
Yeah.
The other 2 modes are campaign mode. So this is actually set after the events of the film Jurassic World. Fallen
Yeah, it is,
Kingdom.
yeah.
So this way you're going to try and preserve the dinosaurs that were set free, and this is across the US. So you're kind of trying to gather them together, help, I suppose help herd them all in and keep them going. Invest. What am I trying to say? Not investigate. You kind of, doing stuff with the dinosaurs basically, keeping them in pens, looking after them, blah blah blah. On the campaign mode on that one, I can't.
Take care of them. Yeah,
Yeah. Chaos Theory mode. So in this mode, you'll be undertaking scenarios straight from the Jurassic World film franchise, such as presenting a T-Rex to the public in the amphitheatre, or basically just building your own park and trying to recreate John Hammond's dream from the movies, and just hitting these little sort of it's like targets, really, isn't it? I suppose it's a bit
it
similar
is,
to
but I
the
think
challenge
it,
mode, but
I don't think it is. And the reason why I say that is, I suppose it is with a challenge
yeah,
aspect of it. But your challenge mode will be do specific things, making the building mechanics difficult for a certain objective, in my
yes,
opinion.
yeah,
Playing with Chaos Theory seems to be throw you into like key moments of the franchise
yeah,
throughout the films, but then change it. So they're gonna twist up like what would happen at that point now that you're in control.
yeah, yes,
Kind of
yes.
kind of feeling
So like when you're
is the
presenting
feeling that I get.
this T-Rex in this little amphitheatre, they might kind of set it free, or what would you do in that situation, that type of thing,
Yeah,
or
they'll give you a twist on what happened.
yeah,
They'll show what I think that what they'll probably do is show what happened, like key moments that you'll remember from the films, and then they'll twist them slightly, and
yeah.
then they'll throw you in the mix to try and fix the problem.
Yeah, so the Colonel from KFC is going to come wandering down the amphitheatre and take one look at that T-Rex and go, wow, that's one big motherfucking chicken. They're having a crisis at the minute, and they're running out of chicken. He could do with that T-Rex. They're from the
Everyone's running out of everything, mate. Don't
bird
worry about
family
it.
anyway, aren't they?
Yeah. Apparently we're running out of ketchup as well.
Are
Is the
we?
one I heard. Yeah,
Fucking
that's what
hell.
I heard that today.
I might
No
have to
ketchup.
might have to stockpile.
Stockpile, man. Yeah.
Uh, yeah,
Um, no, I played the first one. It's pretty good. I felt like there was a couple of like things. The way they did a few things of it were a bit janky.
right.
Um, Mainly just like the research and some of the ways that they did some of that stuff just felt a little bit. Actually, what it was the menu, like the way that you did your menu, the menu system.
Yeah,
You could either click on the building. I think you sometimes had to click on a building to then like do the research or whatever, right? To get that feature, whatever that building offered you, you have to click on that building, then you get it. Whereas it should have just added it to an overall menu because it's like you had to remember what buildings did what.
right. Okay.
And like, fair enough, if you're playing the game all the time, you'll be absolutely fine. But if you're not, then I don't know, felt a little bit. Parts of it felt a little bit janky, but from what I've seen so far, it looks like it'll be a good game.
Right. Yeah. I will have to give it a go. I do need to give the first one a good go. I've tried. I've had probably about 10 minutes on it. I must admit. I've watched my daughter on it, and she, again, like I said a few weeks ago about Minecraft, she just flies away with it. She knows what she's doing, and I just
Yeah,
watch her in awe because she just flies through the menus and the buttons and stuff. And I think, what the hell did you just
yeah,
do there? She's whiz kid,
yeah.
blow me out the water now with the gaming.
Uh,
Um,
that's not particularly difficult, though, is
cheeky bastard.
it? Mate, you'll show your true colours when we do game days with people.
Well, it depends what we're playing, though, doesn't it?
Yeah.
If we're playing Katamari, mate, I've got that in the
Oh,
bag.
yeah, yeah. Fair enough.
Definitely got that in the bag.
Yeah.
I will. I know how to roll them motherfuckers. Right.
Right. Next one.
Yeah, so the next game that's just been released. So bear in mind, we're recording today now on the 26th of August. Game released yesterday, the 25th of August. I did speak about this one last week, and it's a game that I really want to get hands on with. So this is Psychonauts 2.
Okay.
Now I'm still playing through the first one, so I do want to
Yep.
finish that one before I move on to this one. But there's a couple of little interesting facts actually when I was having a little look into Double Fine, the creators of Psychonauts. Um, so did you know that this was Psychonauts 2 was originally started via a crowdfunding campaign on Kickstarter?
No.
No. So yep. So I know we've kind of spoke about this before. Now, Double Fine originally set out to make some small games, like kind of what we've been discussing and what we've been looking at. And the guy from Double Fine, I forget his name, I didn't write that down. He turned around and said the hardest part about creating a game was getting funding for it.
Yep.
Now, they set out to try and gain a small backing from crowdfunding to fund a small $100,000 Flash game, which once they'd set this in motion, what happened is they ended up getting it all spiraled out of control, and they ended up getting 85,000 backers who contributed just over $3.3 million.
Yep.
Now, the game they originally set out, did I write that down? No, I haven't. That's another thing I haven't wrote down. So the game they originally set out with this little Flash game, then eventually went on to become a game called Broken Age, um, which, it's not one that springs to mind when I think about Double Fine, or I couldn't even tell you exactly what it's about. But it just goes to show that when we were talking about crowdfunding and trying to raise funds about making a game before, that it can be done, it's been done, and that's a good example of
It's
it.
in all honesty, it's one of the biggest. It's one of the best ways to do it in many ways
Right?
because you've like I know we talked about it before. It's probably a good thing to talk about, but because people are out there, people like the idea to make games now. You've got real Unreal Engine, you've got Unity, you've got lots of things that can make you can go into this world very easily.
Yeah,
How you make money from it. So the problem is that you've got two things. If you've got a good game idea and you think you've got a good game idea, you've got two issues. One is getting the game fully made, which is going to cost money.
yeah,
No matter who you are, this is going to cost money. When you hear people say that four people made a game like Valheim or whatever, right? Or that Minecraft was built by one person or whatever. Yeah? To an extent. Yeah?
yeah, yeah,
Maybe owned by one person, developed by one person to a degree. Not everything was made by one person. I'm not going to quote that. Maybe they were, but it's unlikely unless he was building it for like 10 years, whatever, right? So you you can make a version of a game. So you can make it a sort of like a demo. So you're gonna make like a level. You're gonna make a general concept of what the game will be. It'll look nothing like the game. It'll operate nothing like the game.
hmm
Um, the end product. And the reason why you do it is to see if the concept's good. And if the concept's good and it plays well, and you give it to a few mates and they play it and they go, "Oh, this is cool. This kind of like this game. You should push forward with it." Then that's when you make a more um, constructive version of the game. But it would still only be like one level. It would look all prettier. You'd make it prettier. You'd spend more time on it. You'd polish the mechanics. You would make it, pretty good. But it would only be one level. And the reason why is because that's where your choice lies now. With you could take that and go to a developer and say, "I have this game. This is it. Play it. Have a look at it. Tell me what you think. Will you back it?" And then they won't back it. They may pay you to develop it, and then they'll own it, and you'll go down that road, and they'll pay you money to develop it and get on with it. Um, but they'll ultimately own it, right?
yeah,
The only other choice you've got is that you take that game and you put it on a crowdfunding site. You say what the game is, you give the demo out, let people play it, and you ask people to commit to buying it before it's released. And if enough people like the idea of the game and they see the worth there and they want to bring it to life, then they back it enough to give you enough money to either quit your own job if you're in a job and develop it full time, or enough money that you can pay other people to do some of the development work for you and make it into a full-fledged game, and then you release it.
Well, I've got one out. I've got one now for you. I've got a game for you now. Captain Cod Eye. Remember him?
Yeah, we'll not talk about that one.
Why not? Captain Cod
Maybe
Eye.
Craig
Competitive.
Craig can make that as a
Competitive
Craig-
fishing.
Craig. Okay, right. You can launch that on Kickstarter and see how you get on.
Do I pitch my idea on here?
No. No. We have some generically good ideas.
I think that one's a brilliant one. Now, can you?
But that can be. Do you know what? That can be your starter tutorial game for Unity.
Competitive fishing through Windows.
That's what you can make that. You make that first, and then you're allowed to develop a game afterwards.
Yeah, I'm having that one. Write that one down. Copyrighting that motherfucker. That's it. Got my name all over that. But no, so I see where you come from. Crowdfunding, it could be a way. There's numerous different ways. But like I said earlier on, that it just goes to prove that it can work. But the other flip side of this, I've seen games that or developers that have tried go via crowdfunding, either not gained enough funding, or I've seen some that people have backed it and it's just never came to light, and they've done a run of basic with people's money. So there's this. It's a bit of a lottery, isn't it? If you're going to be the backer of a game, then you're backing nothing at that point in time other than fictional.
The hope.
Yeah.
The hope that it comes to reality is what you're paying for.
Yes. Yeah.
But the problem is maybe they don't get enough money, and then how can they keep development if they don't get enough money out there? But then you've got an issue that you're not really talking about the game. What you're talking about there is the people behind the game. That's who you're backing.
Yes, but I have actually seen where somebody did an FMV of this game. This game looked amazing. Honestly, it was like GTA on steroids, right? It looked class. But it turns out it was just somebody basically got good at doing some FMV type.
They made
things.
a really good looking thing that they could never make as a real game.
Yes.
Yeah,
And
so
they did it. They got money and they fucked off.
Yeah, so they conned people. Yeah.
Don't worry, people. Captain Cod Eye is not going to con no one.
No, and all I can say to that is, people can make a good video. Yeah, they can make a good trailer. They can make a good kind of idea and concept and stuff like that. But dig into it.
Yeah.
Do
a bit of research and
dig into what you're looking at. Dig into the concepts of the game. If they've got it on Kickstarter, there should be the full blown concepts of that game, how it would work, how it would lay out, and the gameplay demo. So there should always be a demo that you can play, and the demo should be very in line with what they've been talking about. Yeah. If you see visual trailers that don't, link up to an actual demo of a game, then stay away from it completely. Yeah. It's not a real thing.
Goes back to the old saying: if it looks too good to be true, there's a chance. Yeah. And that's where you've got to use your your head and be sensible.
You say about games, it's possible. Star Citizen, that's a 300-400 million pound game.
That's still not out.
By people, which was backed by people that is still not out. And the worrying part about some of that stuff is that their goal is to make the best space game ever, and if you take too long to make a game, you'll never get to the end point.
Yeah.
You'll just keep adding features and things that you want to do to it, and by the time you've added those features, the other stuff you added is now obsolete because of technology and other stuff like that. So feature creep is a known thing.
Which obviously Psychonauts 2, this has been an ongoing game for quite some time now. I think they did get, if memory serves me right, they did get a backing and help from Microsoft Studios. Hence why it's on Game Pass now. On day one.
That was probably part of that. Yeah.
So I think they obviously helped them get that over the line. But yeah.
Which to be fair is actually quite a good thing if part of your game creation funding issues can be solved by Microsoft offering you money because then you can put it on Game Pass. You know, we've talked about this in the past with subscription services and stuff like this, right? That people who have these things like Microsoft should put their money where their mouth is. So they need game content. So then pay new developers, pay new people, find the latest games that might be coming out, and give these people some money so they can do and bring these games out to people that want to play them.
Yeah. Well, that's all I kind of wanted to bring up on that Psychonauts 2, just because I read that little bit of information today about the Kickstarter and whatnot, and I just thought it was quite interesting.
After playing, so you said you've played the first one.
Yes.
In one, I've not played the first one, right? And I've seen the trailer for the second one.
I'm playing the first one.
You're playing?
Yes.
What, in like one sentence, could you sum up why you're going to play the second one?
Why am I going to play the second one?
I know that's kind of putting you on the spot a little bit there, mate, but
yeah, no, I don't know. It's a bit hard to answer, especially in such a short.
What is it that you like about?
So I'm very old. I do like a lot of my old school stuff, right? This is going to be a bit more than one sentence. So I like a bit of my old school stuff, and it's a game that I did see a long time ago, and thanks to the wonderful world of Game Pass, it's on there now to play. So I've decided to start it, and once I started it, I'm like, oh, this is not that bad, this. Now, the second one, so if you think this game's, I think, 13 years old or something like that, maybe even more, I don't know. So I'm playing this game that's 13 years old, and now there's one just been released in 2021, 13 years later. You're obviously going to want to play the second one as well, aren't you? The newer version.
Okay, fair enough.
So rather than just go, right, okay, I can jump straight into number 2, and then maybe go back over and play 1. I know for a fact if you play the later version, you go to number 1, you just be like, oh, this is crap. I can't,
okay.
You'll probably play a little bit of it, and then you'll just be like, nah, and then you need to stay away from it.
Is there something about that game that the game in general entices you?
It's just very nostalgic. So it's very your days of Sonic, your days of Mario, that type of stuff. It's probably even a little bit late, like more current than that, to be fair. So I'm just trying to think if there was any other games. So after we started playing all these little 2D platformer type things, and then all of a sudden you moved over to the Dreamcast, the PlayStation or PlayStation 2, and then you got kind of these more 3D sandbox worlds.
It looks like reminds me of
Spyro, that type of thing, Crash Bandicoot
and these sort of things, yeah.
So that type of thing, it's very nostalgic, and it's
that's what I was getting at. So if you have those nostalgic memories of playing games like that in that genre, then this is a good game to try.
Yeah, definitely, yeah.
Right. Cool. No worries. Perfect. Yeah. Thanks.
So, moving on anyway from Psychonauts, we'll kind of move on to some games we played now, because one of them I want to mention now, and I didn't prepare you for this one. So,
games we played,
Riders Republic, right? We are officially allowed to talk about this. The NDA is up today. The NDA is up today. And
so that's a question. Can you talk about the stuff that you did during an NDA, after an NDA?
Yes.
Of course you can. Yeah.
because it's also moved from closed beta into open beta as from today.
Cool.
So Riders Republic, if you've not played it, it's a Ubisoft produced game. There's currently a beta running on Xbox Live at the moment. Again, I'm not too sure on other platforms, but that's running up until the 28th of August. So you've only got 2 days to play it. I will say it's
Go play it.
definitely worth a go. Definitely worth a go.
Go play it. 100%. Go play it.
If you've played, let's say, Steep, so Steep is probably a good one. But Steep wasn't a brilliant game, but if you've played Steep, and what's this? Oh, what's that snowboarding game? Amped. Did you ever play Amped?
Yeah.
Amped 3. It's kind of like Steep meets Amped with its craziness and like mascots and
I think the thing to point out is that
it's not just snowboarding.
It's races, it's racing other people, it's competitive, that sort of genre, but it's also biking, skiing, snowboarding, wing or parachuting or paragliding was in it by the looks of it, but we didn't get to try that.
Yeah.
Jetpacks and all sorts, and it's all different race modes.
I've seen
It's
hovercrafts.
all mental. It's all downhill. It's all pretty extreme. There's first person and third person views, which make it quite interesting. And there's lots of things to kind of collect and unlock and all this kind of good stuff. And
multiplayer.
I can't say
multiplayer,
full
mass
multiplayer, mass multiplayer, mass races, absolute mass 100 people races or whatever it was.
It was only 32, but
Mate, it was 32, but I was in first person mode, right? And I couldn't even see what was in front of me at one point because there's 32 people in front of me. Well, 31 people in front of me. You can fall off your bike and then reset, and then people are ahead of you, and it's all pretty manic,
mental,
pretty crazy, but incredibly fun.
Yeah,
to play, and I could imagine people getting very good and very competitive at it.
One thing I want to add into there, right, and there's a little, just before we came off that, didn't we? We were cruising around on our bikes, me in my little dinosaur suit, and you in your giraffe suit.
Nice skin.
Big inflatable.
Suit,
yeah, that was quite funny.
Yeah,
but
that was funny.
We found a little area where you do like a little obstacle course. So it was very much like
Trials.
Trials, but it's how Trials should have went for me, like very 3D, you know, that whole, rather than that 2D side scrolling type Trials type of thing. Or like
I think they could have brought out Trials 3D.
Like that, honestly, it was brilliant. When we did that, I just thought, I want to keep playing this. Forget everything else that's going on with the 32 mass races and stuff.
Do you know what I kind of liked about it as well, though, is that it was just that bit that you're talking about was just in the like lobby area.
Yeah, it was just, well, it's an open sandbox area, so I'm assuming there'll be more little areas maybe like that.
Yeah, probably. There'll be probably more ones to find and explore. You get points and stars for exploring and lots of unlocks and stuff like this. I do have a question for you. Is it planned to be a free-to-play game, or is it a paid-for game?
No, it'll be paid for. This is Ubisoft we're talking about. I don't think Ubisoft have ever released a free-to-play game, have
they? Yes, they did. Isn't there a latest like open world shooter game free-to-play?
Not that I'm aware of. I'm not 100% sure, unless obviously they're trying to break that market. I'm not too sure. Not too sure at all. I know. Yeah, but the game in general is so. Like there's so much you can do in it. Kind of the demo that we ran up to. You run up to level 11. Or it's 11 stars, sorry, isn't it? And for each race, obviously, you get the one. I think you get 1 star for completing the race, but then you can go back and do the same race, but you get challenges, don't you?
So there's like bonus objectives. Yeah.
But yeah, say that's ongoing now. That's ongoing until the 28th. Definitely get yourself on there and have a go on that.
There you go. Right, I've nailed it. So Tom Clancy's Defiant.
All right.
is free to play.
Oh, when's that out? Is it out, that? Or is it...
Come play with us. Register now for a chance to play
It's
early
not out yet,
and
is it?
receive. No, it's not out yet. No, but Tom Clancy's X Defiant, free to play game, fast-paced arena shooter that combines intense gunplay with personalized loadouts and specialized actions as teams of gunners called Defiance battle for domination.
Right.
So there's that. So that's something we're gonna have to look at because that's on all the platforms. But yeah, so they are starting free to play. So that's kind of why I asked the question.
Right, okay.
Another thing, just on that, because I just noticed something and I didn't actually see it before. But there's a new Tom Clancy's Rainbow Six Extraction coming out as well in January 2020.
Oh, I did see this,
2022.
yes. Yes.
The ultimate tactical co-op experience.
This
Now
is the...
I've
This
not
is...
read
Is
anything
this...
of it. I've literally just saw the link for
I
it.
think this is the
So we might
zombies,
talk
isn't
about this
it?
next time. It looks like zombies, yeah.
Yeah. So it's like it's like Siege, but you've got all your zombies
Like
and
zombie mode.
yeah, you're getting things. You know, you have to get in and then extract like people out or get certain objectives and things like that.
Yeah.
That's all from what I've seen. I think I've already seen the trailer.
But I tell you what, for next week, this one and the other game, we'll bring them up in a bit more detail next week.
Yep. I am
Cool.
actually testing on Sunday as well. Unfortunately, I'm not allowed to say what game I'm testing.
I've registered to test on
Oh, have you got the same one?
Tuesday.
Oh, is that 9 to
Next week.
midnight?
Yeah.
Ah, maybe it's Tuesday. Maybe I haven't got the days right. Probably the same one. I've done that one. So,
9 till midnight was Tuesday.
well, yeah, it must be the same one. And maybe I've got it wrong, unless it's got different days for different people. But yeah, depending on what that is and depending on what the NDA rules are, which I think they're going to be pretty strict, we may or may not be able to talk about that. So again,
August 31st. That's Tuesday.
right. I'll have a little nosy see which one that is. We can discuss that out of here.
Yeah, that's cool. I don't know what game it is, but I've registered for it, but I've not been told whether I'm getting on that anyway.
Right.
Right, let's
Yeah, keep
bash
moving.
on because I have some news.
All right, okay. So
And
before we
obviously
finish off games, before we like continue with the games we played, then what is it news you've got to drop there? Have you?
Yeah, you mentioned to me about the Halo Elite controller, but
Oh
yeah,
yes, sorry, yes. I forgot all about that. Did you see Have you actually seen the Elite controller for that?
yeah, I've seen the pictures. It looks pretty cool, and you can definitely tell it's the Halo Elite controller.
It looks
Um,
smart, but you know what? I've been stung. I got stung with the Elite controller last time. I had two. I had one that I won that I didn't even open, and I had the one that I bought cost me 120, about 120, 130 pounds. And I remember all the rubber grips all fell apart. So
we have a bit of a difference of opinion on it because probably you were playing. There was a point in that time frame where you were playing a lot more than I was playing on the consoles.
yeah.
And my Elite controller's fine.
Oh, I forgot you've got one as well. Yeah.
Mine's absolutely fine. I got them I got it when it came out, and I don't have particularly any problems with it at all. But what you're saying, a lot of people have said that. So from the pictures, it looks like that specific part is a lot chunkier and hopefully a lot better than it was before.
Yeah, because this is the Elite controller version 2, so this is obviously slightly different to the
It's
version
like a
1 that I had.
Series X version. Yeah.
Yeah, the version I had was the very first version.
I like them. I like the buttons on the bottom.
I can't get away with them. I can't use the buttons on the back.
I love them. I love the fact you don't have to take your fingers off the analog sticks.
I'm too old school. Too.
Yeah, I know, but once
I
you
can't
once you get
comprehend.
used to it-
I can't comprehend that there's buttons on the back of the controller.
Yeah. Well, so it looks cool. Go check it out. It could be good. It could be quite good with that. Apparently, you get a free cosmetic to go inside Halo Infinity if you do buy it as well,
Yes.
which is pretty cool. Jumping from that on the Halo topic. So, Halo Infinite to launch without co-op.
I heard this actually. Yes. Yeah.
So it will not launch. It won't launch with co-op, and it won't launch with Forge.
It won't launch with Forge.
No.
Fuck. Right, so okay, I've got something obviously I want to add to this then, right? So this game was due out last year,
Yeah.
right? After the backlash they got from everyone, right? A game that was almost ready to come out. What the fuck have they done for it to come out? Oh, it's going to be over 12 months later
Well,
and not to be released.
so they're saying that um, Forge will come in season 3 update, and Co-op will come in season 2 update. And the only reason why they're not launching them now is because they they don't believe that the quality standards of them is up to basically up to spec to launch them with the game.
So don't launch the game at all.
Yeah, but they're saying that delays and everything else. So it'll launch with multiplayer and it'll launch with single player campaign.
Something tells me somebody's going to get their ass kicked if they don't launch it.
I think that I think they've got to be careful.
Yeah,
Like
after
you
the
say, it's already
the
been very
cyberpunk.
delayed.
Yeah.
It's been very delayed. I think launching things and then seasonal updates and stuff. That it does boil down to a question, and I saw this brought up actually in a thing another show that I watch called The One Show. Whereas like what is the limitations with launching a game? Like what should a game be launched with? Do you know what I mean? Like so Halo is a game that is notoriously known for campaign mode. I would say campaign mode was probably the biggest thing that brought people to Halo initially.
I'd said
Considering
multiplayer. Easy
no,
multiplayer.
but you can't say that because
I fucking just did.
Halo 1 did not have online multiplayer.
And I also didn't play Halo 1.
Well, I did. So the franchise started from Halo 1 with the original Xbox, single player campaign,
With
and
the
co-op
Duke.
campaign.
With the Duke.
Yeah, couch play. It was a couch co-op. It was brilliant. Multiplayer was really good, as well. And then obviously they escalated from that. And every time I've bought a Halo, I've played the campaign predominantly in co-op.
Yeah, Halo 3 was probably one of the best ones for the multiplayer, co-op,
Yeah,
and everything.
it's catch 22. It's a shame though, isn't it? It's catch 22. Do you launch a game that's not finished,
Yeah,
or do you launch it now with parts of it and don't launch the other bits that don't work?
yeah. I'll be perfectly honest, the last Halo was disappointing. I thought the campaign was shit. Me and you played through it, co-op, and
Yeah, it's
I
pretty bad.
couldn't tell you what the fuck happened in it.
Not really, no. But anyway, good to know. We'll keep an eye out on it.
Yeah.
It's not that far away from being launched, so um, hopefully it'll be all right. I
Aye.
do want the Halo franchise to do well and come back, but it's in such a big play space with lots of other games that it's difficult.
Oh, yeah, yeah.
Um, it doesn't help by launching a game without part of the components to it that make it the game that it should be. So,
Aye.
um,
Quick one. Going back to Riders Republic. Do you think if it didn't have it didn't get such a good kind of, because although it was under NDA, there was people like commenting on Twitter and Facebook, etc., saying how good the game was and whatnot. Do you think if it got a bit of a bad review on social media, they would have? Uh,
it'd still be under NDA and it'd still be in close beta.
yeah, that's what I was thinking. That's what I'm trying to get at. Yeah,
100%.
yeah,
100% test the water with an NDA. Yeah.
yeah. Right, yeah. Anyway, so let's moving on. So games played
Yeah.
this week. Are we
No,
all right?
wait. I'm not,
I was just about to say, are you ready to move on or not? After I said it all.
no, I'm also keeping an eye on time.
Go.
I have two others, just in case you didn't know. One that might make you a little bit happy is that Activision even has employed new anti-cheat efforts for Warzone.
I got a survey off them the other day asking me about why I'd not playing the game anymore.
I hope you answered it completely honestly,
I did. I
or
said,
didn't answer it all.
because your game's horse shit. No,
Because the
I said
cheating's
because
ridiculous.
the cheating's
Right,
absolutely
so
ridiculous.
get this then.
And I'm
Get
shit
this.
at it.
So their man, I'm a bit dubious about this, but their kind of statement at the moment is that they will punish repeat offenders.
But you
Right.
can't stop that shit, which is the issue.
Well, so their new anti-cheat efforts, and this has been launched already, and people have reported that it is doing what it said it should do, and that is that it actually blocks the hardware, not the account.
Right. Okay.
So that same PC that you got banned on, that PC can no longer play Warzone.
Right.
Because before, with it being a free-to-play game, if you got banned, people just made a new account
Yep.
and carried on and left off. Okay, you
And
lost all your stuff.
you
You get it
can't
all
ban
back.
an IP. So how the fuck do you ban a PC?
It's like MAC address and stuff.
Yeah, but then can you not? I'm sure you can change that somehow.
No,
Can you not?
no. So MAC address is like machine component level of what the PC is built up of.
Right. Okay.
The specific part number. It's not a part number, but it's the number of that component part
Right.
in that machine. But basically, all they're doing is checking what machine it is, and if that machine tries to get back on Warzone, it won't be allowed.
Right. Okay.
And some people who have actively, shown the cheats and how they work and everything else have been banned, and they're now applauding Activision because they've tried to make new accounts and can't get back on.
And they should stand them in front of people, and we should all hit them with the fucking ban hammer.
Yeah. So that's pretty cool. I thought that was pretty interesting and good, and hopefully we'll hear more about it and see if Warzone's actually a game that people want to play again. And the last but not least, which I thought might be quite cool for you, was Microsoft Flight Simulator, the new one.
Yeah.
Is getting competitive multiplayer later this year.
How the fuck to do competitive multiplayer and flight simulator?
Plane races, baby, plane races.
Plane races.
Yeah.
What they need to do is like landing as well on a runway. You're both trying to come in at the same time.
to like just jump on that a little bit. So there's a thing called the Reno Air Races, which is a thing in the real world.
Oh, okay. where you've got the big inflatable like cone type things, and they've got to go in between them.
I don't think like Red Bull. That's like Red Bull Air Racing.
All right. Okay.
I don't know much about Reno Air Racing, but I believe it's like point-to-point racing. It's quite low. You have to get to as fast as you can to certain places and stuff.
Right. Okay.
And apparently they have scanned. So the Reno Air Races is a free expansion in autumn. It's the largest expansion to the game title.
Is this coming with the Top Gun thing as well? Because that's coming out as well, isn't it?
I think so.
Top Gun add-on.
And also, like all the Reno Air Race planes have been scanned and put in the game, and everything else. So, I just thought it was pretty cool. I think it'd be quite good.
That'd be quite good. That.
So instead of us trying to race and do things in the game without the game letting us, now it's gonna let us.
And smashing it to people.
Yeah. Anyway, right. That's the last of my news for this week.
Right, move on to then games played then.
Cool.
Obviously, Riders Republic was one of the games we've been playing this week. I've been back on.
Go play it.
Yeah, definitely go play that. Got another 2 days to do that. The other game I've been playing again is Immortals. Still can't get off that.
Yeah. I've not played that yet.
Game is I'm over 10 hours into it now, and it's just I think I'd look online. I'm about 20% into the complete.
Cool.
So cool. And that's not even including all the add-ons because I've got the season pack there as well.
Oh wow! Okay, fair enough.
So, so we've got that. We've got one that we mentioned last week with EFootball PES 2021. Now, when I originally went on it and did the training, I was like, oh, this is pretty cool actually. And I was enjoying that. We then both went on and played online against each other. I think I won one, you won one, possibly. I can't remember the results.
Something like that, yeah.
Then we decided to play the co-op game mode, which took us about 20 minutes to find out how you even get into that point.
Yeah, that was a bit harder than it is.
Yeah, the menus are fucking ridiculous. I think you mentioned that anyway last week. But that where we got our arse handed to us. At that point, I hated the fucking game.
I do think we missed the.
It was not because we lost the game, probably in the manner that we lost the game. I just felt like a bit like FIFA, I suppose. When you got online, it's a bit clunky, a bit slow. You know, just something. It's not as
I would
responsive.
I would like to. So in that game, we played Wales against Wales, and Wales had the best footballers possible
Yeah,
in that team.
Messi, Ronaldo,
And
you.
and I had a look into it afterwards, and apparently we can change. There's an option where you can stop people using an edited game,
Right, yeah.
and then you don't play it. So you would have just played the normal Wales, right? I would definitely like to play that again,
Yeah,
where we
well,
play it a normal team, just to see.
since me and you played it together,
Yeah.
I've
Okay. Yeah.
I've been on the game again since.
All right. Okay. Cool.
And I enjoyed it a little bit more, but I played offline, so I played like a single player,
Yep.
which just felt a little bit better. Now, obviously, I was going to say the same thing to you. It'd be good to get on there, try and get like a normal team rather than I suppose, a hack team or whatever, an edited team, um, and see.
I've got to admit though, like I said to you, it took me a couple of games before I had more of an appreciation for it.
Yeah,
And I don't know whether that's because you just automatically try and play it like FIFA, and it's not FIFA.
possibly they do piss me off from the chat turn like a tank, but
Yeah.
right, let's keep moving on. Sounds like someone could be cutting us short anyway. Yeah, so keep going, keep going. Yeah, that's eFootball PES 2021. We'll give that one another go again, and hopefully we can change my mind. The
Yeah.
other game we've been playing this week on PC is Valheim,
Yeah.
which
We killed him. We killed him.
yeah.
Yes.
Um,
3 hours later.
yeah, so a quick overview. We went on to, what was he called?
It's bone mass, isn't it?
Bone Mass. So we went on to kill one of the bosses called Bone Mass. We kicked ourselves to the eyeballs with lots of different equipment. Mike works on a different time zone to every human being on this planet, and said it will take us 10 minutes.
Yep.
3 hours.
That's because
no.
that's because it was late at night.
I'll give you your due. You said it was 3 hours. It was actually more like 2 hours 20 minutes before we managed to kill him.
Yeah.
And it took over 1,000 arrows. Um,
The way we did it, yeah,
a
it
lot
took
of
1,000
a lot of food,
and
a lot of deaths and respawns.
yeah, and a fortunate base build by me that helped us do it.
Yeah. And
It
then
probably isn't
fucking
the most efficient way of killing it.
Leroy Jenkins there finally jumps in with his fucking big sledgehammer thing and goes apeshit with it, and yeah.
Yeah, I probably should have used that earlier. Yeah.
Yeah, but
Never mind.
it was good. Enjoyed it. Obviously we're going to
It
try
was
and get
good
back
fun
on there.
actually. It actually sparked a bit of a. I think it sparked a little bit of a fire in us to play a bit more of that game. In all of us.
Yes, so I know obviously we're in the mountains now, aren't we? We've been using an abundance of cold
Cross protection
potions, yeah, to get up there. Now, because you had to nip off early last night, so we managed to get our wolf capes.
The capes.
So now once
so
you got the capes, you don't need the potion at all. You can just wander around.
No.
And I did spend an hour looking for a wolf trophy for you, but I could not find one for the life of me.
No worries, mate.
So
I appreciate it.
we'll
We'll do that later.
We'll do that tonight. I've got plenty of hides. We've smelted all the steel. Was it steel? Iron? Steel?
It was silver.
So neither of the ones that I said then.
We're in the silver and obsidian age is the two that we're
So
playing with at the moment.
we've got that. So we'll crack on with that.
Yeah, we'll keep going. We've been recording a little bit of it while we've been playing, and we'll post a few videos and stuff like that of stuff we find on it and stuff. But it's a good game. Give it a try if you haven't already.
Yeah, I've been popping some of them on Facebook and Instagram anyway, little pictures, videos, etc. So yeah,
Good
take a look
stuff.
at them, see what you think of the game. That's kind of all I've been playing this week, but there is a game I want to kind of push onto your toes here, Mike. I don't know if you remembered playing it. I'll tell you what, I'll let you tell me. Yeah, you tell me what you've been on at this week, and then we'll go from
Okay,
there.
I'll leave. I think I know which one you're going to talk about, and I'll leave that one to last. I've also been playing
Not Leisure Suit Larry. Not Leisure Suit Larry.
No, that's not for air either. Um, I've been playing the Sea of Craft beta on PC, which is a ship sandbox kind of buildy game. Um,
This is
the
one. If you don't know the game, obviously you did go quite
we talked
extensively in
about
this
it.
in the first or second episode of our podcast.
Yeah, we talked about it in a previous episode where I'd played the beta and did the challenges and stuff. But there was another and did creative mode. But there's now a open sea they call it, which is actually like a campaign mode. It's a bit roguelike esque. You have to go kill pirates, and it gets progressively more difficult, and you spend points and coins to upgrade or give yourself perks,
Yeah,
and those perks continue once you die,
yeah.
effectively.
So
Um,
it's good that it shows that about 8 weeks ago when you first mentioned this game, this is where it's kind of come on, and this is why
yeah,
people you run your betas and stuff like that, so you can kind of
exactly.
try
Yeah,
and test
yeah,
everything.
yeah. I'm not under an, and I did speak to the developers about it, and I'm not under an NDA, so um, I can show some footage and stuff. So I've been doing a bit of recordings and stuff like that, and I do plan on doing a video for that one, get that out so people can kind of see what it's about. Um, I think it's got potential. I've got to admit the campaign mode didn't doesn't spark my interest as much as it probably could. But that's a bit of a weird statement because I do feel like I want to go back and play it. So maybe it has. I think now that I realize it's a rogue game because it didn't mention anything about it being a rogue game. So then I was just dying and getting annoyed at dying because it didn't get any progression. So it felt a bit weird. Um, and then it's also got a multiplayer game mode as well, so you can go and do some sea battles with your mates and kill some stuff. But they've been very good actually. On the beta comment, they've got a Discord server which we've been talking in there about the game in general. But then now that you've got beta access, we have a whole tab for beta reasons. So now we're like updating the developer of things that they think we should add and features and stuff like that. And they do seem to be taking our advice to what we're saying. So
That's
it'd be
good.
interesting to see how that develops and moves forwards. And apparently, now that we're in the beta team, we stay in the beta team throughout. So I'll be interested to see how that pushes forward. Um, Another quick short one to mention is I've played a lot of Scrap Mechanic on the PC in my time. Another sandbox survival game mode with a creative game mode in it. Um, Very cool. Build a lot of unique devices and contraptions and stuff. There's tons of stuff online about Scrap Mechanic that you can go and have a look about. If you like sandbox creative buildy games, check it out. The only reason why I've been going back to it a bit more at the moment, we are waiting for a development update because this is a game in development as well. But you do pay for it for the game, um, on Steam. The development update seems to be taking quite a bit of time to come through. It's a big update that we're waiting for. So in the meantime, there's a lot of people making mods for it, and there's a mod called the Phantom mod that adds a lot of interesting and unique components to the survival game mode that you don't normally have. So it's like refreshing the survival game mode for me. So I'm giving that a bit of a go, and it's throwing a bit of automation into it and making things a bit cool of what you can make in there compared to the normal game mode. So checking that out was pretty easy to install and quite good fun so far. I'll probably do some videos on that. And last but not least is a game called 12 Minutes,
That's the
which I
one.
think was the game Craig was on about.
That's the one.
Which is a mystery sort of. It's a mystery game, puzzle game, really, um, that's set in. According to its site, it's set in in a 10-minute time loop.
But they call it 12
Not
minutes.
I've got a feeling they've called it 12 minutes because once you figure out
There's 2 minutes of
the game, it's 2 minutes extra.
yeah.
Yeah, yeah. And I kind of noticed this because when you press pause, you actually get a clock to see what time it is,
Right.
and the 10-minute mark is very obvious, and the 12-minute is like almost off the screen.
Right.
So why would it be the 12? But apparently it is a 10-minute time loop. Um, so far, actually really cool, really unique. trying to figure out the different ways. It's a give it an idea. It's a top-down, well, kind of isometric, kind of top-down view, and you go home. You go through your door, and you're met by your wife, and she kind of speaks to you, so how your day's going, and eventually, a police officer turns up at the door and kind of barges his way in and locks, handcuffs her, handcuffs you, and then demands some information about a pocket watch, and effectively strangles you to death so she can get the answer. So he can get the answer, and your wife does make a comment of this watch existing that you know nothing about.
Right.
And then the game resets, and you start back at the door with your wife away to meet and greet you again. And you have to play consistently, time and time again. And every time you play, you have to try and do something to get yourself a little bit more information about how the final run through should be played at.
So one of the things I want to mention is I know you played this with your partner. Now,
Yes.
A lot of people who obviously may be listening or are interested. I always get like people say, what game's good to play with my kids, what game's good to play with my partner, etc. So, would you recommend this as a type of game you and your partner can sit down and play? Granted, I know it's only one person controlling the what's going on, but is it that,
No, absolutely. Absolutely. 100%. Yeah, there's so many different avenues and so many different theories of things that you could try to get somewhere in the game, and get yourself a little bit more information that I didn't think of some of them and my partner did.
Right.
And there were, big leaps in that, and you could actually find yourself sat not knowing what to do.
Right.
Like, you can get to that point because you run out of time. Yeah, this police officer turns up at a certain time. You have to be prepared for it. And it's just about looking and paying attention to what you can do to change the 10 minutes every time you have 10 minutes.
Mm-hmm.
So make it different. Do something different every time.
Yeah. So it's
And
like
have
that,
a think about what you can do differently every time.
Yeah, thinking
in the
outside
hope,
the box all the time.
Yeah, in the hope that it gives you a piece of information. And when you get that piece of information, you now have that information that you can now use to make the next 10 minutes different.
What information?
Piece of information.
Not peef.
Not piece of information. To be honest with you, I've never. I've not played a game like it. I found it very good. I found it very, very interesting and quite cool when you realised, I'm going to try this go to see if I can do this, and then realising that you can do it, and then it gives you some information. And you're like, I'm one step further, but you've got to remember all these things. It's not like it. It doesn't put them down a list on the side telling you these are all the things you know now. Your guy does react.
Right.
Like he remembers some things, but it doesn't necessarily help you in that sense.
So is it a bit like, obviously it's nothing like Minute, but is it that kind of similar concept?
It is in the sense of Minute, you run out the way, explore to try and give yourself enough information, and then you carry on the next time.
But when you unlock a puzzle in Minute, it stays there when you reset. I'm assuming this doesn't happen on that. You've got to kind of reactivate that kind of puzzle or that bit of dialogue.
Yeah. To give you a good example of how it's different, when you first walk in, you speak to the girl. When you speak to your missus, she speaks to you, right? And then she goes and sits down and reads a book, right? From that point, you could give her a drink. You can go to the fridge. She does mention some food, which is in the fridge, and you can take it out and you can set the table and you can ask her to come and join you and eat some food, right?
Mm-hmm.
And the couple turn up at the 5 minute whatever mark it is, and come in and arrest you both.
Yeah.
The next playthrough, you can not make her food.
Yeah.
right?
Let's
Now,
try
that's
not try not to give no spoilers just in case.
no,
You know,
that's not
yeah.
going to give a spoiler, but
I'm
you
just
see what
putting
I
it
mean.
out there. Just
You've played that.
Yeah.
You've played that game in that time frame very differently.
Yeah.
Yeah, and you have to think of how you can use that to your advantage.
Right.
And there's stuff I found and went, oh my god, like that's amazing. Like I can do this time round. There's sometimes where you might have to spend this is a little bit of a hint, but you might need to spend an entire round. I do call them kind of rounds, um, or time loop through doing a specific thing because you found certain information out.
Yeah.
But I highly recommend playing it with some people. I even would go as far as saying that you could probably get a bunch of mates around and play it with a bunch of mates together.
Right.
You really could. The more people there, it doesn't make it any different. You've probably got a bunch of ideas. Ultimately, maybe take it in turns.
Yeah. I say ultimately you can only do one at a time. So.
You can do one at a time, but you know, like I know you've played like mystery games and stuff with your partner and stuff before. But you know, when people are paying attention to the storyline,
Mhm.
they can kind of when it goes to time loop, or you know, the police officer turns in and starts arresting you. You can't do anything at that point.
Right.
So you've got a bit of time to kind of say, okay, what should we do the next time round? Like, what are our options? And then you both have options. And you go, okay, well, we'll try this time and see what happens. And
Right.
you have a bit of a debate and discussion about it, and then you crack on with it and do it. And yeah, it was good. I appreciated it. I think I'm not going to play it. I'm actually not going to play it without her.
Right.
She enjoyed it. The only bit I would say that felt a little bit tedious is if you play it for too long, um, uh, doing things over and over and over again,
Yeah. It's gonna get. Yeah. It's gonna get
and
annoying,
get a
isn't it?
little bit repetitive. But that's the same. That's the same issue you've got with any kind of like roguelike repeatable game.
Yeah. Yeah.
That you can play it for a certain amount of time and then you get annoyed with it. So, but other
Yeah.
than that, go play it. It was really good. Really enjoyed it.
Yep. As someone I've not played it, so yeah. I mean, I
I think you'll
wanted
like
to play.
it.
I wanted to play it anyway, but yeah, you've definitely sold it to me. So
I think you'll play it, and I think you'll appreciate playing. You might argue a little bit when she wants to do something and you want to do something, but my suggestion is just pause the game and have a talk about
yeah, well, don't worry about that.
it. That's not necessarily to you. That's the people watching or listening.
Yes, so that was 12 minutes. Again, another game that sat on our lovely friend Game Pass on Xbox.
Yep.
Have you got anything else to add then, or are we happy to shut shop?
No, that's me for this week. That's me for this week. I will
Yeah.
check those other games out that I mentioned and give a bit more of an overview of those games for next week.
Yep.
Um, but other than that, pretty cool. And like you said before, we will start setting some other stuff up to go along with this. But
Yeah, we'll put dates in motion, and just at the minute, there's a lot going on. We don't know, we haven't got kind of time frames or anything. So as soon as we kind of get a grasp and a feeling of how and the way things are going, then we can set some play dates,
yeah,
streams,
yeah,
etc. So
yeah. Some part of that is I have not. If you're just new to watching, I have a newborn, and that makes some timelines a little bit difficult to kind of link to. So till some more normality comes back out of that, and we can set some stuff up that we can keep, then we will
yeah.
definitely start doing that.
So Mike will be back in 18 years' time because that's when normality is going to come back when he kicks her out the house.
The only normality I want is being able to put her down and let her sleep without.
Mine's up there, fast asleep.
Mine's not. Mine's sat with me every time we do an episode. She is sat right with me.
Hairy boob.
Hopefully listening. Yeah, Harry Poop. From the first episode. Hopefully listening to all the games that she wants to play when she's older. So it's all good.
Yeah, My Little Pony.
Yeah.
Yep, so we'll end it there, I think. Yep, we'll jump on a couple of these games anyway. I'll say I might hit Jurassic World Evolution, the first one there. Hopefully I'll finish Psychonauts, and I can't ever see me finishing Immortals anytime soon, because that game is huge. Yep, we're going to close up shop because we want to jump on Valheim and get Mike his wolf cape.
Yep.
So you've been listening to myself, Craig, Z Crisis 2 on all social media, Xbox, and pretty much everywhere. So give that a search, add me, follow me, do whatever you want. And
Well, that's an offer you can't refuse, can you?
I wouldn't refuse it. I'd be all over that shit. Pin up on the sale.
I'm Mike, and my gamer tag's IronMike2, and the same on social media and on Xbox and stuff like that. So please add me if you can find me. That's fine. And you've been listening to HGC Gaming. What is it? HCG Gaming.
HCG. HCG. By the way, Iron Mike is spelled iron with a 0. It's not an O, it's a 0. Because he likes
It's Iron Mike. It's Iron Mike 2, but it's a 0.
He's an awkward fucker.
Not an O.
You can see if you're watching the video, you can see that underneath his name now. Underneath his picture.
It's because it's below. It's below at the moment. But yeah, it was taken or something like that.
Yeah. So, but anyway,
don't mistake me for Mike Tyson, because I'm not.
Certainly not. So HTG, look us up on Facebook, Instagram, YouTube. We're here, there, and everywhere. So I'll pop the links as usual in with the podcast. Send us an email. Let us know your comments of what you think. Any corrections you think we've got something wrong, let us know. I'm not bothered. Just, we'll give
You're not bothered?
I'm not bothered about being criticised. You can criticise as much as you want. We'll give you the shout out.
I'm not bothered. Okay, well, you're right.
Who's this fucking prick?
You can fuck off. Yeah, you don't necessarily mean that.
No. Okay. So yeah, any criticism, anything like that, we're quite happy. We'll take it. Take it on the chin. Not like Michael usually takes it in the face, but we'll any corrections, anything like that, we'll quite gladly hold our hands up, say yes, we've got that wrong, and give you a shout out. But yep, thank you very much for listening.
Yeah, take it easy.
Take care now. Bye.
See ya. Bye.